All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Limitless Mindset Podcast. I wanted to take a moment and thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I appreciate all the positive feedback you guys have been sharing, all the success stories, all the things that you guys have been implementing that I have been sharing with you guys, and you guys have been putting into action in your own lives. It has been absolutely amazing to hear some of the feedback and some of the success that you guys are seeing. Today, for today's episode, I wanted to just drop on here real quick. I'm going to make it a quick and short one. But I wanted to talk about something that I think is important for everybody to understand. That's going to be the trying to find that work-life balance. This seems to be something that a lot of people seem to be chasing. It's a super trendy topic that we all hear about when you guys hear, hey, you need to do work-life balance. You need to balance everything out. But the misconception that a lot of people have is that work-life balance always equates to a 50-50. You got to have 50% work, 50% life. The thing that I disagree with this is that it's such a individual base type, of situation that everybody's threshold for more work or more family time, more personal time, more diving into new projects is going to be completely different. My threshold, for example, for taking on work could look very differently than what your particular threshold for taking on work. Your situation, for example, if you're a single person, you don't have a bunch of kids, you guys don't have responsibilities, you guys don't have a spouse, you can dedicate more of your time into your business. Therefore, your work-life balance may look a little bit different because you don't have as many obligations to pour into, a spouse and kids and things of that nature. Vice versa, if you guys have kids, if you guys have a family, we've probably all been there at some point. I know that I have, where if you're pouring too much time into work, it's going to take away from that family time, and it can cause a little bit of a strain there too. The secret is, guys, really is that you need to really figure out what works for you in your individual situation, and don't fall into the cliche, you got to have a 50-50 work-life balance. You need to find what works for your personal situation that's going to allow you to reset and recharge your personal life, and then also be very active in your personal businesses and what it is you guys are trying to do and accomplish, so you guys are seeing some results there as well. It's always going to be, and the thing I want to share with you guys too is that this can change as time goes on. There was a point in my career where I would spend way more time working because I was trying to build and trying to create something very quickly in an effort to then down the road allow myself a little more freedom to dedicate to my family. I didn't want to burn my time that I had to build and create by not pouring as much as I possibly could in there. So there was always going to be some sacrifices that were made on the family side of things, where now obviously I've scaled my business up a little bit. I could pour more time into the family, get a little more income coming in so we can take vacations and spend more time and provide a better quality of life for my kids and my family. So, this is the biggest misconception though. And I think that, a lot of people are always trying to figure out what this secret equation is. And I just want to tell you guys, it's okay to not have the answer to that. In life, one of the things that has helped me out is, I don't really try to focus on, am I putting enough time here? I do what really feels well to me. If I have a new project coming on that I know I need to dedicate and pour a lot of time and energy into, I'm going to have that conversation with my wife and my family and say, hey, we're going to, take on this new endeavor right now. We're going to take on this new project. We're going to try to create this thing in an effort to get this done as quick as possible, or to test it as quick as possible. We're going to have to dedicate some time into this. There's going to be a little bit of sacrifice on time over here. We're going to have to work some extra weekends. Going to have to stay a little later at the office. But on the flip side, this project is going to get done quickly, or we're going to test it, and this is going to be the benefit and the outcome of it. On the other side of things, when it comes time to spend time with my kids, when it comes time to take vacations, comes time to spend with my wife, things like that, hey, we're going to take a little seat away from work and spend a little time over here now, right? That always changes as we go through different seasons in life and what it is that we're trying to accomplish. If you guys are working a job right now, it's a little bit easier to have that quote unquote work-life balance. I remember when I did, because what that used to look like for me was I had a 40-hour work week. When 5 o'clock rolled around, I was able to tap out because I didn't work for myself. I didn't have the responsibility of owning my own business. So I was able to tap out. I could have my evenings. I could shut my phone off. I didn't have to answer my phone. When, weekends rolled around, Fridays hit, we were able to go out of town. We were given that 2-week vacation. So that was what some would consider a work-life balance. I work, and then I'm able to completely check out, and then I'm able to go take vacations and spend time and do the things I want to do. Please understand that, once I started and once you guys start your guys' own business, it's going to look very different than that. I try to be as realistic as possible. It's going to be hard. It's going to be fucking gritty. This is why people end up quitting so much, is because they're not used to how much work they're going to have to put in, how tapped into their business they're going to have to be. things look very different for me now. Sometimes after 5 p.m., I'm not always able to just shut my phone off because some of my people need me. While it's getting better and while we're growing, that's just part of business pain. Sometimes your employees are going to need you. Sometimes your agents that work for you are going to need you. If you're in my line of business, especially if you guys are a team lead, I don't have the ability all the time to just shut my phone off when I have people that rely on me because I am the company owner now. Weekends, same thing. I don't have the ability to always shut my phone off on the weekends. Now, there is a process in place that once you grow and once you scale your business and you get some income coming in, you could actually hire people to help you out and create structure within your organization. But when you're first starting out, you're going to be all things. You're going to wear all hats in your business. So your work-life balance is going to feel a little off. It's not going to feel traditionally like it did when you guys had a job. And that's okay. I'm here to tell you guys that that is what is to be expected. Don't think you guys are doing anything wrong. That's just part of growing a business. And the end game is to eventually put enough systems and processes in place to where you can have that ability as a company owner to take that hat off sometimes, tap out in the evenings, tap out in the weekends. Another thing to take into consideration too with the work-life balance is what do you guys enjoy? If you're like me, I personally enjoy working. I enjoy creating. I enjoy being around my office and meeting with my people and talking to them and helping them with their businesses. That's very fulfilling for me. So it never, to me personally, feels like work most days. I'd be lying if I told you guys some days when challenging and I didn't run into challenges and things of that nature, because I absolutely do. But with that being said, I have found a career and a job that I thoroughly enjoy. So most days it doesn't really feel like work. When I put in a 10 or 12 hour day, it doesn't feel like I put in a 10 or 12 hour day most days, which is the end goal. So my work-life balance is off. I'm one of those people that I don't need weeks on weeks of vacations. I don't need to be done with work by 4 p.m. to feel satisfied. I've kind of created a life for me that some would consider I work a lot, but it's very balanced to me. I go to work first thing in the morning. I get up early. I get my 2 hours of personal time in. So that doesn't feel like work to me. I work until, from the office about 7:30. I take my kids to school. I spend a couple hours a day in the car with them, driving to school, picking them up, taking them to sports and things like that. So I still get my quality time in between work, come back to the office. I get work done, leave around 4:30, 5 o'clock, get home, answer some emails, have dinner with the family, go back, answer some emails, talk to some clients and some customers. So for me, I've been able to kind of mix up some of my personal life and my work life within my schedule to where, to me, it does feel balanced. My wife, on the other hand, she definitely loves taking vacations. She loves doing things like that. So, we have to tap out sometimes. With that being said, we will take vacations. We tend to take 3-4 family vacations per year where we get to spend time with the kids, things of that nature. So, the whole point in this that I wanted to tell you guys is don't chase the elusive work-life balance. It should be where when you guys feel yourself and something is not aligning, where you feel like you're always working and you have zero personal time, absolutely work on that. For me personally, I don't need a lot of personal time. What I did, and this is just, I'll share my experience with you guys. That's something that has helped me. For me, I love to go play. I just don't need to play for long increments. So what work-life balance work looks like to me is I work throughout the week. I spend time like a normal job. I treat it like a job with a little additional hours. Saturday, I'll probably work a little bit on Saturday mornings. And then Saturday afternoon, we go out, we hang out with friends. Sunday is reserved mainly for family days in most cases. We've got a boat. We'll take the boat out. We'll go surf for 4 or 5 hours. We got a razor. We'll take the razor out to the desert. We'll go spend some time for 4 or 5 hours. Things like that we get to do as a family. And then that simple little 4 to 5 hours for me personally is enough of a reset where I get to hang out with my family. I get time away from work. I can shut my phone off for those 4, 5, 6 hours on a weekend, completely tap out. And to me personally, that feels balanced. To you, that may not. Some people may need a little bit more. I know people that need even less. They're happy doing that only once a month. But that's where I said you guys need to find what works best for you in your guys' individual situation, and don't feel like you guys are doing anything wrong when you guys are first starting a company, first starting a career, starting a new career field, a new line of business, or anything like that, guys. It's going to feel unbalanced. The end game is to figure out what you can do to get into a groove that works for you guys. So hopefully this is helpful. I wanted to drop some of that because I know that that's something that a lot of new business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with is, am I doing this wrong? Am I wrong for sacrificing some of my family time? And sometimes that's going to be part of the growth process. It's not always going to be easy. It's going to be ugly. You're going to have to pour a lot of time into work, but don't get caught up in I only have to work 6 hours a day and that's considered work-life balance unless it really is 6 hours and it feels. Sometimes it's okay to work 12 and still dedicate 6-7 hours over here to family time in between. It all depends on you guys and your personal life and your personal structure. But really, it should always be a balancing act between, am I being productive? Am I pouring enough time, energy into my business or myself to help it grow? And am I pouring enough time and energy over here where I feel fulfilled with family time? My family feels fulfilled. And that's what balance looks like. And that number and that ratio will always look a little bit different for some people. As always, I hope you guys have an absolutely incredible week. For those of you guys that are looking for coaching, feel free to check out my website, www.blakeclark.com. I got a few different options. We have an absolutely incredible coaching group. It's cheap. It's only $50 a month. You're going to get the most value possible out of that group, and it is only $50 a month. We meet once a week. We do an hour-long Zoom call, and we talk about all things mindset, business related, and it is an absolutely incredible community and culture. So if you guys are feeling stuck, if you guys are looking for like-minded individuals to help grow your guys' business, to help you guys break past barriers, roadblocks, life lessons, business lessons, I highly recommend you guys check it out. Again, you can find that on my website, www.blakeclark.com. And as always, guys, if you found value in this podcast, if you guys found that it was helpful, if you guys know somebody that needs to hear it, all I ask is that you guys give it a share. I don't charge any fees. As you guys can see, I don't run any ads on my podcast or promote anything. All I ask is that you guys share it with somebody, share it on your Instagram, your guys' Facebook, your guys' news feeds, wherever you guys want to share it, or share it with someone personally that you think can get some value. And as always, guys, hopefully you guys have an absolutely incredible week. Let's get out there. Let's crush it.